We have a guest who is very special. I'm going to leave the presentation for you, my great friend. Thank you very much, Diego. Well, these are very powerful phrases that we've seen throughout this marathon, and they're full of knowledge. And also, of course, for me, it is a pleasure to accompany you, Diego, introduced to you this great leader in the company, who is Jorge Vaca. Jorge has one of his main virtues is this power of visualization and this power for make people visualize things too. How are you, Jorge? Hello, Juan Carlos. How are you? Hello. How are you? Good evening, Jorge. Welcome. I would like to tell you that Jorge is a great leader from Ecuador and throughout the world. A lot of people follow him for his vision, for the way he says things, how he awakens that desire in people to go for the diamond level with an international vision. And Jorge is going to tell us a little bit about the international business, how he develops it in his team, in his people who are in many places in the world now. And besides appreciating him very, very much, I went through a lot of stages with Jorge Vaca and Juan Carlos and throughout different types of the plan, different moments in Jorge Vaca's life, in his highs and in his lows also, but always with the intention of moving forward and run anybody over to be able to grow and helping a lot of people. Of course, I have the honor of knowing him, his home, and his family. I'm going to send him a hug to Ecuador. And Jorge, welcome. Thank you very much for your kind words. There's nothing other to say that the best way of motivating and teaching people is through example. I'm here right now with you for about 10 hours here with you, but your presence there in that table, always at the front, heading at you, motivating us and inspire each one of us entrepreneurs to be here through these 24 hours, throughout these 24 hours. Okay, Forum. Thank you. Thank you. Well, good evening, everybody. For me, it is an honor to be here with you today and be able to add a little bit of value to the life of each one of you. I would like to start a little bit by my testimony. I did what we were taught. I think I have a little bit of feedback here. I did what we were told or taught, or where we've been told. The previous generations, I'm sorry, removing these earphones, that we study, we go to school, that we get a degree to be somebody in life. Well, I didn't do that. I did that. I went to school. That's 12 years right there. I went to college. I also studied abroad. I was in the United States. And I studied I love the fields. I grew up in a very large hacienda, and I started working as a cattle manager with one of the largest groups of cattle farming in Ecuador. I loved it. I really loved what I did. But I realized I studied in all this livestock area. I realized that I was working from 5 a.m. because, of course, in the fields, you work from very early in the morning to about 7 p.m., 7 o'clock. But I didn't earn what I wanted. Actually, it was something that wasn't matching with my dreams, my mind frame with what my earnings were. So then I started analyzing one day, and I said, no, I can't continue this. This is not my hacienda, my farm. I'm dedicating my energy, my time, my brains for somebody else to make money. So then I talked to general management, and I resigned, and I started to see what I could do, and I see what were people, the wealthier people were doing, and they were all farmers. They were they were growing bananas or cocoa and things, but they were also people who were farming rice or corn at 3 or 4 months. These are short cycles. Since I didn't have land, I didn't have a hacienda. But I could lease lands to grow. But for that, I needed to have a collateral or money to be able to put down as a guarantee. You know how mother I am, the oldest son of 5. I talked to my mom, and I said, Mom, I want to grow. I want to move forward. Help me out. And of course, she gave me some money, and of course, they made me a loan of about 100 and a couple of thousand, 100,000 of sucres in that time, not dollars. I never had so much money in my bank account, but it wasn't mine. And of course, as we know, the money has costs, and which are called interest that you have to pay. And of course, the business has to be more profitable than the interest that you have to pay. So I was farming rice. I was very happy. 50 hectares. It would go. It was green like a golf court, and I said, "Wow, I did very well. Thank you. Why didn't you tell me before that life was so easy that I could plant rice and harvest rice?" And of course, we had the El Niño current, and everything flooded. I can share right now this, but going through that spell of rainfall and begging, of course, praying for my grounds don't not to flood. Of course, I always say that your failures are always designed to grow. Of course, these falls are designed to grow. Of course, because my fields flooded, and what happened? I realized that starting from the first mishap that I have, I couldn't pay the bank. I started having problems with lawyers. I have problems with my mother, of course, because she had to pay because she was my co-signer, and I said I can't live with the rest of my life with this burden. I have to move forward, and I talked to my mother again, and I said again, I need you to do another. You kind of wanted me to be a co-nicer again. She gave me the guarantee, and I started with another bank. I purchased some machinery, and I was planting soybeans. But what happened? But when I purchased the machinery at a 20% interest, we started war with Peru, and the interest in war go really, really hard. There's no bank loans, and so I couldn't pay. And from one hole, I fell into a deeper hole. And this second time, I was asking myself, am I not a good stock for entrepreneur? And they start questioning yourself, and that's dangerous. And what I learned this second fall, the worst thing that can happen to you is start believing in yourself. And I stopped believing in myself. People were making fun of me, saying, "Jorge, you're always dreaming, seeing little birds in the air. You have to touch bottom. You have to touch ground and look for a job." My mother would say, "Look for a job. I told you, so much schools and to be doing something else." And I said, they might be right. I looked for a job. I went to work as a manager for a telecommunications company as a manager, and I started earning about $1,200. But that was not enough to pay off all my debts, and so my debts were growing and growing with all these interest. I didn't care because I didn't really have any way to pay. So I started earning. I started saving. Always understood the power of savings. I was saving, and it came to a point where I had a little bit of money in my bank account. I made a reinvestment in a business, which maybe have some earnings of about $4,000. So so I can live with $5,200, so I can start paying off my debts. But I was 39 years old, and I was single, and I said, no, it's time to get married. And I found the wife, who's now my wife. She's a wonderful woman. She gave birth a couple twins, a boy and a girl. And I said, okay, finally you're looking at me, my Lord. I have a wonderful woman who's beautiful. I have a daughter and a son. I'm earning about $6,000 a month. Perfect. I'm doing very well. Then the next government comes in. When there's a new government, they leave. They push everybody out in the management. And of course, they left me off on the street again. I don't know if you have felt in your life that feeling when you have children and you don't have money. You don't even have money to feed them. So I understand. I had to live that stage of my life. I had to touch bottom because if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have gone into this business. Never, ever. Why? Because of the ego and suppositions. Imagine, what are you going to tell me about powders and bottles? I'm master, mister, and monster. Yeah, okay, get it together. But God, with His infinite wisdom, is also, I always say, closes one door and opens another. When I was watching TV one day and I was desperate, I didn't really know what to do, and I saw a little office that had a little horse, the little I like horses, and there was a little statue of a horse. So what a beautiful office! And I started looking at the office, and I was listening to a Mexican person who was interviewed in CNN, Entrepreneur in Spirit, and I learned and said came to Ecuador to make a high profitable and low investment business, and I don't know where I'm going to get money, but I'm going to go into that business. I wanted to talk to this person, and he made the typical little circles in a piece of paper, and I said, actually, I don't understand these little circles. I want you to tell me something. Can I eat with this? And I started looking at him, and as he gave me the phrase that changed my life completely. This is why I always say everything to the same thing. Eat. We're going to become millionaires, sir.
No one had ever said that to me before. And he said that, with so redundant, with so much strength and certainty that I always say, and Jorge Bagara used to say it, people, when they need to listen to someone who is sure of himself, that it has certainty, that stuck in me. When he said that to me, my eyes, lit up. I felt that life came back to me. I felt my stomach had butterflies, and I said, the intuition, which I'm studying it right now, intuition, I said, this is it. I went home and I said, Gina, I'm going to ask you a favor. Take care of the kids. It doesn't matter. Let's see how we feed them. If they need to eat, I don't know, wherever we can, anything, a sandwich or something. But if you need to maintain them, and I'm not being a martyr, I said, but I don't have, to buy diapers. I said, don't worry, I used to have cloth diapers. So you're going to wash the diapers and you're going to put a safety pin. Help me with that. Just help me a year. I'm going to, you're not going to suffer. You are going to live an abundance life, because I've started to see this company and I see that there are people that are earning 50, 60, 80, $100,000 a month, and I'm going to earn that. When they told me to see the journal and I saw them earning $60,000, I was impacted. And my defense mechanisms, instead of saying, no, you cannot do that, the first thing was yes. And the first question was, what do I need to do to earn $60,000? You need to become a diamond. And he explained that to me. And since I entered, I put two objectives in my mind: $60,000 a month. And with that figure in my life, that was my objective, diamond, to become a diamond, even though I need to do whatever I need to do, get up, fall, rain, snow, I don't care. I came in to become a diamond. Didn't come in to say, what if? I came in to save my family. And I heard a phrase that Irma said, I brought my family to abundance. Everything that separated me, everything, and I focused on becoming a diamond. I asked, how much and how long do you become a diamond? Well, there are one or two people that got it really quickly, but the average is about 7 years on average. I said, I am 39 years old. Let's say I become a diamond in 10 because I didn't have an idea. I'm 39, at 49. I have two options: earn $50,000 a month like a diamond, or survive with a wage. Success is a decision. I took the decision of being successful and becoming a diamond, and I didn't care if I ate or not because I knew that I was going to go by it. And it depended on me, that it depended on my love for my home and my kids and my wife. Because then I didn't understand what, people that take care of people. And I went in 100%. Maybe that's why I didn't become a diamond in 10 years. I became a diamond at 1 year and 7 months. It was really quick. I was generating a lot of money in such a short while. And my life began to change. I began to grow up. And within my testimony, when I came to Diamond, I stopped because I didn't understand, okay, if you turn a diamond, okay, but then is when you need to begin to develop your people and, grow your organization more. My organization fell. I fell down to silver. 5 people in my organization left. I became a diamond again. 3 more lines left, and I fell to gold. I became diamond again. Compensation plan came, and I lost 5 lines, 1 diamond line, and 4 gold lines. My check fell to 60,000. It fell to 19,000 a month. That is where what you said at the beginning, Diego, that we joined together. Because Jorge Vergara, I tormented him 3 or 4 days, and Jorge said, okay, stop, work with Jorge and with you, Calderon. And I became diamond again. We recovered diamond. I was diamond supreme. And thank God, we are around $80,000 a month. And we keep on growing. The topic that I am going to talk about is how to develop a vision of business. I always tell people a phrase that I love: life is better taught by someone instead of being learned by you. And I ask the production, please. There is a video here that I want you to see before we continue. I just don't want to have a cemetery. This is where he was born and he died, and he was a good brother, good father, good son, good cousin, good friend. And it's just, words because it was put as the one who loved you more, but we don't know what else people think about you. You need to leave a footprint, not just on the ground, not on the cemetery. You need to leave a footprint on the people. People will remember you and will say, thanks to this guy that is gone, I am healthy. And to remember you all their life for what you are giving them. That is to transcend, to leave a footprint, to leave a print like someone who was someone that took care of people. People that wanted others to have well-being and that wanted to share that well-being that OmniLife gives us. That at the end of the day, this abundance where we live in OmniLife is impressive and marvelous. It begins with the product. You begin to take it and you begin to share what happens to you. The money, the same. And it's just sharing and giving away money. That is not the way to grow. And changing in this life. The way is to make people become self-sufficient and to have their own results. Remember that starting today, if you want to transcend, you need to forget about excuses. Excuses are the excuses of the people that fail. The word was invented by a person that failed. Excuse, to be a failure. Many of us have excuses. Many have the excuse of why they didn't come, why they don't sell. It's curious how the difference is in the intention. What is better, to give or to receive? What is more exciting, to share than to receive? To transcend. And you need to see the dictionary if you like, but to transcend is a word that in Omni Life, we're going to make it our own because this is what we're doing every day to make people change their life through me changing mine. And that is the intention, the objective, and the purpose of Omni Life right now. In the process, you're going to earn everything else. The process of your dreams are going to come true. And I want to ask you to make the effort after this weekend of coming out dreaming fantastic dreams. And not only keep them and be afraid to share them. Share them, even though people laugh at you and say, you are crazy. You cannot do that. Because we don't transcend through our heads. We dream with our heads and we transcend with our heart. If we put this passion, emotion, love with the people through these products, we are going to make it. Okay. I hope you can hear me. Well, why did I want you to see this video? Because this video, we see what OmniLife means. How do you want to develop a business, national or international, if you don't have clear what you want? If you don't have clear the purpose of your business? Jorge had a very clear vision. In this video, he says, transcend, change the life of the people. And that is where everything is. At the beginning, I didn't understand it. I said, I'm not going to help anyone. I don't care to help anyone. So there, I always say, the leader finds a dream and looks for the person. The people find the leader and follow their dreams. Jorge began in 91 in Guadalajara, Mexico, that I was seeing the amount of people that they have in the metropolitan area. There are 5 million people. And I put in Jorge's shoes, and he said, okay, I'm going to change the life of the people. But why change the life of the people only in Guadalajara? Why can't I change the life to all of Mexico? If there are humans that have economic problems, that have health problems, that there are people with self-esteem, with limiting expectations, so I need to expand. And he began to expand his business because he had a vision of what he wanted and he had a great heart and he knew that the tool, well, he didn't have to use it just in Mexico but to many other countries. And time went by, and today, like you know, we are 7 million entrepreneurs, more than 4,000 employees, more than 280 products, 22 countries, 240 distribution centers, and 2 companies. He began knowing what he wanted. So I tell you who is listening, you have it clear. What you want, you have clear the purpose of OmniLife. You have clear your own personal purpose? Or are you here to see what if? They told me it was good. They told me that if I sell a product, I earn some money and I can eat. So if you are with that mentality, if you don't have clear what this tool is, the blessing that we have in our hands, how big this tool is, then you are not going to be able to grow. Not nationally, even less internationally. You have to have it clear that we, the entrepreneurs, the distributors of OmniLife, have to go away from a personal purpose to superior purpose. And what is this? The people. So, we need to understand that it's not the same that you distribute your product to 1,000 people, or 10,000 people, 20,000, that to distribute your product in millions of people. So if you ask me, Jorge, I've heard the different interventions of the entrepreneurs. So how do I earn more money? And I'm going to tell you easily, solving the problem of more people. I repeat it, solving the problem of more people. It's not the same that you have a business in your city. It's not the same to have a business in your country than to have a business in the 21 countries that OmniLife is in. And that was one of Jorge's dreams. He said, do what I did. Visualize yourself like me, taking your organizations, renting boats like I do, and flying planes. Stop going in a bus. So analyzing this, I started thinking and listening to the new CEO of the country that we have here, a banker for the first time he's in the presidency. We came out of 14 years of socialism. That also ruined us a lot. But anyway, we were there. This man is a man who spoke before being a candidate and said, listen, we need to understand that there are 7,000 million people in the planet. For us to get out of the economic situation that we are at, we need to begin to grow and make business with the world. And he said a phrase that impacted me. I want to share this with you so that we can use it in OmniLife. He said, more Ecuador in the world and more world in Ecuador. So the same applies to OmniLife. More OmniLife of Ecuador to the world, more OmniLife of Argentina in the world, more OmniLife of Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Spain, Salvador, Italy, Guatemala, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Dominican Republic, USA, Uruguay, Russia in the world, and more world in our countries. I began to analyze how many people there are among the 21 countries, and it is a spectacular fact, Diego. We have 1,160 million in the countries that I named of people. So, I think it's better to have the vision that our leader Jorge Pegara had and to increase the world and help change the life of millions of people and not just stay static in the world place that you are at. And now with the tools that we have. For example, this morning that we heard the ex-leader, there are angels that come to this company, and that's how I call them, because he told us how. Even though in Brazil we don't have admirable clients, he did what he had to do to have this admirable client. 16,000 pounds a month, $4,000 a month. Before we couldn't do that. If a person called me from Spain, Mr. Vaca, I see that you are selling the products. How can I buy them? I don't know. You would have to send it by DHL, but it's very expensive, and it's going to be more than what I'm going to earn. So wait. Now we have a tool, an impressive tool, and very impressive. The other tool that is being able to sign people, open countries, for us to open countries before the company gives us all these tools. We needed to be audacious. We needed determination. You want to open a country? Okay. You need to understand that you need to leave your family, you need to leave your place of origin, and you need to go to another country. You had to. If you need to sleep on a mattress, anywhere. But you need to do it because you need to go open a country. And here in the company, we have many cases like that. How many of you had to pay the price of going out of your comfort zone, of your country, to conquer other countries? And that is Irma, a person that inspires us. She left Peru and went to Chile and then Brazil. But it was worth it to pay that price because he has a spectacular check. But now you don't have to do that. Now you only sit in your computer, send the link for them to get in. It is important what I'm saying so that the new ones, the young people, the millennials, realize that to you it is easier to open countries than what it was before for us. So, begin with that. Many people don't do it because they have a limit. In what I teach them in leadership schools, and we saw it, the law of the top. We studied McDonald's. And people think that McDonald's, the ones that opened McDonald's in the 40s, are the owners and creators of the empire of McDonald's. No, that's not it. They opened a restaurant in 1940, but there was a person called Ray Drug who sold the machines to make juices. When he came in and saw how the amount of people moved in McDonald's, he said, no, this has to be an American entity and has to be in all of the USA and has to be all over the world. And let me tell you that today McDonald's has more than 31,000 restaurants in more than 119 countries. So this top is given in the entrepreneurs and many because it is very easy. They fall out of the comfort zone. Many people hear it and say, what is that? A comfort zone. And the comfort zone is the worst enemy that you can have to develop, to grow. And this comfort zone is determined by two fundamental aspects. The own concept, how worthy are you? How much do you deserve and wish to earn? And that is determined by your mental thermostatic that was being taught by your other people. So when you hear talking about a lot of money, many don't understand, but that's what I teach my organization. Once Pepe Bregara said, I always listen to them. You can sign the poorest person in the world, but don't let that person take you to their world. I need to take him out of his world and bring it to mine. I need to get him out of there because these are just beliefs that he has, because he's a human being. the difference between him and me are the beliefs, because they didn't have the opportunity to study or to see big things like I saw and or many of you saw. But when one sits next to me, I say, okay, you and I, listen to me, you and I, you see this line of cosmetics, this nutrition line, we are going to be the owners of this cosmetic beginning with Ecuador and then the world. You are going to work for not less than $10,000 a month. You know why I say that? Because I have clear of, the quadrant of money. Because we are not employees or owners of a small business. Because we are in a powerful system that allows you to think and act like a rich man. So I cannot be so selfish. And I cannot be selfish to say from the comfort zone. It doesn't matter, earn whatever you can. Let's go little by little. No, no, no. Here we have a tool that is so powerful that I need to teach you to use it correctly. Because it's better that you earn $10,000 instead of 1,000. And I teach them that. I raise their economic thermostat. And because some of them don't understand, I make them live what they would feel $10,000 a month. I say, you've never earned. How much is your max that you've earned? 1,000, 1,500, like a manager of the bank. $1,500? Okay, imagine 10,000. You are going to live with 3,000, the double of what you earn. You're going to save 7,000 a month, and 7,000 a month is 84,000. In 6 years, you have $500,000 in your bank account. You like that? So his eyes open, and I say, see, that's why you're going to come in to work. If not, otherwise sign with anybody. Don't lose your time. You want to be a consumer? Okay, consume. Don't worry. Because we are independent. If you want to take a bottle a year, take a bottle a year. But if you want to grow, you need to do what I'm teaching you. As a minimum, visualize yourself and reprogram with $10,000 a month. You're going to live differently. You're going to live well in your house. And you're going to dream. I learned a phrase, very important phrase. To be persuasive, you need to wake up the desire of the people for something. You need to make them dream. The dreaming is the gas. That is what I love to do. I open the vision and I have them working like they need to do. And the other thing is self-esteem. The comfort zone is limited by the proper concept and self-esteem. How much do you love yourself? That is, there are people that don't believe that they deserve to reach a diamond, to earn $10,000. They say they cannot do it. And that you need to work. Because I ask myself when I enter the company, how many people are there? Around 1,000,000 people. And you speak to me about diamonds. How many diamonds are there? 20, 30? I couldn't believe it. I didn't understand. But I cannot believe it because my level of evolution and knowledge of the system of in OmniLife, I didn't know them. But I did know that if you become a diamond, you can earn $50,000 a month. And if there are 1,000,000 people, how come there are only 20 people diamond? And I began to analyze and study. I went into the law of process, directed process, preparing, studying, learn everything you can about what you do, because this is my world. I need to know. And I saw that the problem, and I closed all of this knowledge when Jorge invited us to John Dispenser in Guadalajara. That is where I caught the idea. And I said, the mind. That is the challenge. To begin to change that part, to increase your thermostatic level, to increase their self-esteem. because people are going to move, are going to work, are going to be motivated when they have a higher concept and when they have self-esteem. If they have their own concept of earning $1,000, even if you give them 500 talks a day, he is going to stay in $1,000 a month. There is a phrase that I love. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Listen to me. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. And it is important that you, as an entrepreneur that are here today in this marathon, understand that we, human beings, have 4 levels of conscience. Why do I say this? Because many people think that you come here and you are crossing your fingers, like we say in Ecuador, let's see if the number falls into you or you have the winning lottery number. So you come in and you are in the robot mode, living under the law of accidents, making miracles of this. If it's okay, okay. If I sign someone and if I win the lottery, perfect. And there, I'm going to, go to the meetings and see the leaders, and I'm not going to work too much. That's not how it works. I'm going to tell you the levels of conscience so that today, because we have this opportunity that the CEOs are giving us, analyze in what level of conscience you are at. The first level is the lowest one. It is the state of being a victim. And I always said in my organization, how do you recognize the victim? By 3 things. He complains, he justifies, and he has guilt. I cannot stand a victim. I cannot stand him. My way of being, is not for that. Because I am not a victim. And if you analyze this, Jorge Vergara, he never justified, he never made claims, he never did anything bad. And be careful. If you have a lot of people that are whining or justifying or calling someone, they are guilty, you need to get rid of them. They need to think that all of the problems are external, that everybody is guilty except you.
They give a lot of importance to what is called the cultural space. The what would people say? What would the surroundings say? They don't distinguish with the rules that we learned that in seminar. And you're going to excuse me, this is how I was taught. The rules are the bullshit rules. The bullshit rules that are imposed by the surroundings. They're there. You don't live for yourself. So this is a state that you have to know that exists, that the more you teach people, if they remain in that state, they're never going to grow. The next one is level number 2, where you start to understand that you're not a result of the circumstances. Called the level of awakening. You understand that life can happen to you, or you can happen to life. You make things happen. You start writing your goals. You start practicing affirmation. I am in diamond. I earn $10,000 a month. I can do it. I can do it. I'm a winner. What I do all the time. And you start playing with the visualizations, the creative visualization. This is amazing. Visualizing it is so important. It's super important. Visualizing, seeing yourself as a diamond. You see the color of your clothes you're going to be wearing, what you're going to smell like, how you're awarding, how your children, they're hugging you, your wife. But I used to do this every day. I even bought a suit that I had. I bought a dress for my wife who was in the closet. Actually, I should have been crazy. Must have been crazy, because one of those golden dresses that really that the dancers wore that was amazing. I said, "Do you think I'm going to be able to wear that dress?" But I was so excited to becoming a diamond member. I said, "Of course you have to wear that." And I opened the closet and I say, "Of course I'm going to using this suit very soon. I could see myself as a diamond, and you start doing that in the second stage because you understand that your beliefs don't define you, but they control you. They control you, and you start to discard the things that don't are not useful. On third level, you understand that you can reprogram yourself and change your inner world. This is where magic begins, where you start understanding that these ideas that were implanted in you are not your own, that these were implanted in you. You can't do the business. You want to change the fruits. You have to change the roots. You can't follow this business, a millionaire business, with the same limiting beliefs that you have, with the same way of thinking, the same mind frame. So what do you want to do? So what do you have to do? You go into a process because it's not an overnight thing. I've been preparing myself 18 years, preparing my organization, forming them, because the leaders have to be formed. You need a leader to be able to withdraw the leader or get the potential of other leaders. People were making fun of me. I didn't care because I knew what I was doing. I wanted to form these people, so they go through a process of learning. They start reading. They start reading books of the industries that you're in. Uh, Books of successful people. If you want to be a mechanic, you study mechanic books. If you want to be a soccer player, well, you study things about soccer. You see how they live, how they do soccer, what do they eat, do if they do exercise or not. You have to be immersed in that if you want to be a millionaire in that area. And lastly, we have level number 4. You understand that you don't live in the world. You don't only live in the world, but you can change it. You are focusing on improving the world, not only becoming rich. You discover that the life is not only about you, but all the lives that you touch. This is amazing. This part is the best part, which is called transforming reality. Technically, when you grow, you evolve, you reprogram, and you understand that life is not only about you. As Jorge was saying in the video, it is about transcending. And the only way to transcend is through the people changing other people's life. This is spectacular. Right now is analyzing everything that you're doing right now, guys. And I said, oh my gosh, how impressive the Jorge Vergara's leadership, how amazing it was. And from heaven, he's showing us what transcending means. The word transcending means he's not here, he's in heaven. He's an angel, he's okay, but his company continues changing lives. That is exactly transcending. That is transforming reality. So if you want to transform reality, see yourself transforming reality, not only of your city, but of thousands of people, millions of people around the world, and with the tools that we have now available, even much better. Besides that, we have been talking all day, throughout the day, of this mix, this hybrid mix of virtual and presential. Of course, the people who have been here, more older people who had the virtual part, but we had to adapt ourselves. But there's nothing more spectacular than being in an event where 5,000 people is feeling the people's vibrations, and it's going to happen. The world now is coming out of this pandemic. Very soon, we're going to start again with these events, with these presential events. And wouldn't you like, I'm asking you, wouldn't you like to work right now very strongly, start opening other countries so when the world opens to the presential, you start doing these international tours, but to go check on your business? You go to Chile, yeah, you're going to Chile, yes, but you're going to give conferences you're going to go lecture to your organization. You go to Spain, yes, but you're going to go lectures in your organization in Spain, to Colombia, Mexico, anywhere that you want to go, Argentina, Bolivia, Peru. You're going to become then a true entrepreneur. And of course, traveling is one of the most beautiful things that have happened for me in OmniLife, is traveling throughout the world, giving lectures. That is amazing, has been amazing. And to close, of course, something that I learned that really moved me is that the human beings have 5 ways of scientifically proven ways of motivation, and I want you to write this down because you have to analyze which one of you motivates you. The first one is the motivation of purpose. There's something in the planet Earth. What do I do? What I do? What is my motivation? That one didn't motivate me because I didn't understand what a purpose was. I didn't really care. The second one is a personal conviction. I do it because I do it. That I had that one. When I saw that here the diamonds were the people who earned the most, I said, "Oh my gosh, I want to be a diamond because I want to be a diamond." I hope that today, with everything that you're learning today and tomorrow, I hope that you leave right now tomorrow with the conviction, the personal conviction that you're going to become diamonds level, because you have to analyze yourself. The third one is ethics and morality. People are really motivated by social justice, by taking care of the planet. Everything is good. The first one is egocentric. There's people who are seeking acknowledgement. And the fifth one is money. I was motivated by two. I do it because I do it. And earning $60,000 a month. But nowadays, after 17 years of this journey, there's nothing that moves me more than the purpose, that's which are you human beings, that are people. To me, is sitting down and giving a training session, helping people, is the greatest thing on earth that has happened to me nowadays. But you have to live it to understand it. Diego, I started being very philosophical, but I love this. This is my dear brother. I love this. It's true. It's true. At the beginning, people who take care of people said, "Well, you take care of your own people. I'm not going to take care of anybody." But now, no, you don't know. I really love talking to people. Thank you, Jorge, and thank you very much for your intervention. And I believe this, what you were talking was really made us vibrate. As you say, the world is ours and it's our hand. Each one of you can change the reality of more people within your country, in other countries, and other continents. It's just in the will, in training, in actually having this vision that you're talking about. Of course, transcending. Of course, I was very moved by Jorge Vergara's testimony, who's accompanying us from heaven and now is enlightening us. And these videos are like these buckets of reality as JB saw things. And I'm really amazed as it seems like if he was seeing what was going to happen. It's an incredible visualization. Jorge, you were saying we have to visualize everything. And yes, it's true. We have to visualize. I think it's the only way to see yourselves and be able to achieving things. What am I going to be at a certain time, where I'm going to be in a couple of years. And that happened to you as well. You were saying, you told me and Juan Carlos, what do I have to do to go back to the check that I had? And then we talked for a long time. We made a presentation. And the only thing that you said, and I was pretty blown away, and said, and you, Diego, and you say if I do this, I'm going to go back to where I was before. And I said, well, of course you will, Jorge Vaca. And of course, you didn't only go back, but nowadays your check, as you said, is the highest one in the history of the company. And because something you said very well, and I summarize, not forming followers, but leaders. You're forming diamonds in your organization, supreme diamonds, LE, premier diamonds with incredible checks, with incredible growth. We can name many diamonds that you have in your organizations and the ones that are still waiting to be formed. I don't know if Juan Carlos, if you want to add something. Yes, there's a lot of things to say here, and thank you very much, Jorge, for reliving those moments, reminiscing these moments. And you mentioned that success is a decision, and success has been JV has showed us, remembering again the basic elements of the company, people who take care of people, wealth, abundance, the security, safety, the conviction that he said it with, that ardent wish. Of course, this says everything. This is a multi-development. This is what distinguishes OmniLife from the rest. Thank you, Jorge. Okay. How do you see how we're doing? How are we doing on time? Spectacular. How are we doing? It's spectacular. And as you are sitting there, we're going to be accompanying you, my champion. This is spectacular. Sincerely, well, okay. I'm humility is a constant will to learn. We write and we write and we write because there's always something that reaches you or touches you. Up to this moment, from what I learned, I had a lot of ideas came to my mind from what I've been hearing, because I don't know everything. I don't own everything. And every person that has been talking today, something, a phrase or an attitude that they have, can help us to improve our business very much. So this is spectacular. The only thing that I don't like is the soccer team that you have, that you're sponsoring. But oh well, okay. Okay, yeah, okay. Your participation in soccer was horrible. It's horrible. You broke my legs. I'm sorry. Go focus on being a diamond. In September, we're going to be playing, okay? Jorge, I'm sending you a big, big hug. Thank you very much. And we won't be playing soccer. Thank you very much.